to start. But we're going to turn over to our interview guest today. We're talking a little bit about dry July. Now, that is ending in a few days. And for a lot of people, August 1st is when, of course, the whole thing can unravel. Dr. Frank Spinelli, a physician and coach with sobriety app Reframe, says the month itself was never the point. What people do the following week is. Let's go to Dr. Frank Spinelli now, joining us live through Zoom in the studio. Dr. Frank Spinelli, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So I know it's getting toward the end of dry July. Now, would you mind explaining what dry July is to people who may not be familiar with that?
Well, think of it as a challenge. You've certainly probably heard of dry January, and that's when folks decide to take a break from alcohol for 1 month or any period of time. And I think that's just translated into dry July or probably sober August. It really doesn't matter, like you said earlier, what month it is. It's really what your intentions are. And for many people, it's to hit the reset button and say, hey, how about we try no alcohol for 1 month? And it's become a challenge where people do it in solidarity with their friends and to see who can manage and maintain it for 1 month.
Of course. So what kind of health benefits have you, in your experience, seen? And also, what does the science say the health benefits are if you hold off on drinking for an entire 30 days?
Well, it's more than the fact that it's 30 days. There's really neuroscience to back that up, and that's what we teach at Reframe when we talk to our clients. The actual thing that you're going to see is you'll probably notice within the first couple of days you might be sleeping better. You might even start losing some weight because you're not consuming all those empty calories. Certainly, you're doing a real service to your liver and your kidneys and giving them a break. But the reason why the 30 days is significant is that when you are not drinking, you're not igniting that reward center of the brain, which is releasing dopamine, and you're actually forming better loops in your brain from this habit. And that's called neuroplasticity. And that we know from the neuroscience takes place at about 30 days. So there's a real significance for the actual month.
Yeah, of course. I never really thought about the fact that, building that routine really helps provide more of a positive feedback loop in your mind as well. Now, for me, I know I'm someone who definitely needs to watch my weight a lot of the time, too. So how can cutting back on alcohol help with weight in terms of really keeping track of that?
Well, it's one of the things that people don't even realize is that in consuming alcohol, it's just empty calories. There's nothing really nutritious about it. So in the first couple of days, you might notice what I just described, but also after a period of maybe a week or two, you're noticing that you're having more energy, you're waking up earlier, you're feeling more motivated, you're not having that anxiety that you might have had after a night of drinking. And certainly that motivates people. So in addition to just losing some weight based on not consuming alcohol, you might be back at the gym or being more active in your daily life. And so it's really about a healthy start to your day, and that translates week to week. And then you know that you're at the end, you're in a month. But the most important thing that we've learned a lot about these dry periods is that after the 30 days, either people extend it and say, hey, let's try another month and see how I can do, and notice the benefits. We call it the joy of missing out instead of the FOMO or the fear of missing out. And I think people really accept that challenge and continuing it. Others will maybe perhaps go back to drinking, but they're more mindful of their drinking. So the 30-day reset is really good on all fronts.
Of course, yeah, it really does. So it helps to encourage more of that routine, absolutely. So for people who, want to take the extra step with that challenge, who want to extend beyond 30 days, what tips would you give to people that are kind of feeling the craving if they want to go back to drinking a little bit, or also maybe experiencing social pressure when they're going out with friends that are drinking?
Well, those are really good questions. So again, Cravings, like waves, they come and they go. The important thing is to just ride it out. And we use a halt mnemonic of what's actually going on with me. Am I hungry? Am I tired? Am I lonely? And really try to understand where the craving is coming from. As far as friends and social pressures, I always say don't make it such a big deal. You can always just say, listen, I'm taking a break from alcohol right now and I want to see how I feel. You'll find that a lot of people will be inspired by you. And the other thing to do is that when you're going out, just understand, well, perhaps thinking about non-alcoholic beverages. There's certainly a wide variety of them, but also seltzers and stuff. And you can bring them with you when you go to a party so that you can have something in your hand, and just understand that you don't have to conform to the social pressure that your friends are imposing on you. It's really a lifestyle choice for you. And think of it as an experiment, something you want to try to see how you feel. And the other important thing, when you wake up in the morning, jot down a couple of lines of how you feel. What has been the changes that you've noticed? And that way you can read it to yourself and really understand over the course of a month what you've benefited in not drinking.
Yeah, of course. I think keeping a log like that so that way you don't forget the benefits that you have experienced and be able to go back to that, I think that really is an encouraging tool, especially if you're going forward beyond the 30 days as well. Plus, you took that point right out of my mouth too, is the fact that now more mocktails and non-alcoholic beverages that are tasting.
They're everywhere.
Like, yeah, they're everywhere. So having those on standby is always great.
And you brought up a really good point with the journaling. We at Reframe tell people to keep a journal all the time, and you don't have to think of it as an essay or a work assignment. You know, just jot down a few lines of how I feel today. What did I learn about myself? What are some of the patterns or behaviors that have improved since I've stopped drinking? And you'll, like you said, when you go back and read it, you'll really become even more inspired so that at the end of the month, you may want to just decide to keep it going.
Absolutely, yeah. So, Dr. Spinelli, I know people may be hearing about Dry July right now. I know it's coming to an end, but say they want to try a dry August, or they just want to start now. What have you seen in your experience, maybe some of the biggest mistakes that people can make when they're trying to commit to a detox like that?
Well, I think the biggest mistake is that we get caught up in the I'm not going to drink forever. And all we're saying is start small, set yourself up for success, build confidence over time. August is here. It's going to be here in another day or two, I believe. So why not just start on August 1st? And if you're too nervous about a month, give yourself a week. Go week to week, develop confidence and build that confidence over time. And just realize that you're looking at it as an experiment to see how I feel after the course of a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, and develop that. And you can write that in your journal and look back and see the progress you've made and where you've benefited, and maybe what the sphere of influence you put on your friends and family based on this.
Of course, absolutely. I think that's some great advice too. Before we wrap up, Dr. Spinelli, I just wanted to see also, I mean, you've really given a really great list of benefits and also really great tips to help encourage people. Are there any other resources that people can look up if they want to find maybe more information about similar detoxes, or maybe more information about the health benefits that poses?
Well, I would certainly invite you to check out Reframe and read about what our mission is to use neuroscience to really help people navigate and renegotiate their relationship with alcohol, and read about all that we offer as well as the science behind it. And I think once you understand the science on some basic level, it really helps to create an idea that I can do this.
Of course, Dr. Spinelli. Well, that is our time right now, but thank you so much for joining us. And I know for me, it is great to review some of those health benefits as well. And I do hope that, you know, people who have been feeling like they want to take this challenge or try this challenge out for themselves, that they will take that advice. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, before we wrap up,